All right, everybody, we have reason to celebrate today. Woo, party! Looks like Microsoft actually listened to the masses and has come out today in their press release and saying DRM's a no-go. So now you're not just buying a basically a boot up copy of a disk and having to go online and download the rest. Which big victory for us, which means if you buy a game, you can trade it, you can give it in, you can trade it off, you can give it to other people if you want. No restrictions, they said. And that came from them watching what Sony was doing to them. Sony was raking them across the coals, laughing the whole way to the bank. Well, now they can't laugh anymore because Microsoft also did something else that was super intelligent. Now they said your Microsoft Xbox One will work the exact same way that your Xbox 360. The only time you need to go online is for the initial setup. And I don't think anybody has a problem with that. Go on, boot up, and let it, do whatever it's got to do. Microsoft actually listened to the voices of the people. And of course, they realized that if they didn't listen to the voices of the people, their system wasn't going to sell worth a shit. And nobody was going to buy it. I wasn't going to buy it. Once I heard some of the stupid stuff that they wanted to do with the new system, I was just like, no thanks. I'll go to PS4. I'm fine with the PS4, which I'm still fine with the PS4, and I'm going to get both of them now that Microsoft actually come out and said, look, we realized that what we was doing, it was wrong. But it's not that they were wrong. Microsoft was thinking of the future. Instead of making the games for the gamers of today, they were working on building a system that is future-proof. And I get that. I understand the business logic behind that. But one of the problems with their future-proofing the system is that they didn't build the system really to specs to be future-proof. A 500 gig hard drive is going to be eat up within a few days. Especially if you got somebody that's a real hardcore gamer that's going to play every game known to man. They're not going to let that hard drive go unnoticed. They're going to fill it up as fast as humanly possible. And the problem with the DRM strategy is the DRMs, the disk itself probably won't have much memory on it, and you'd have to download gigabytes worth of information. That'll eat your hard drive up just as fast. I think what Microsoft is doing, they're doing something intelligent. They're bringing out a system. The Xbox One that's coming out is going to be absolutely comparable to the PS4. They're both going to be about the same specs, the same hardware specs. Everything is going to be about the same. Whether you choose Sony or Microsoft is a personal choice. Like most people, I'll probably get both. And I'm definitely going to get me a Wii U. But I think Microsoft is going to come out later with the second option of the Xbox, and it's going to have a bigger hard drive, probably a terabyte or more hard drive, and it's going to do the DRM thing. I think that's going to work out a lot better to their advantage because right now, gamers are unwilling to give up their hard disk. I am. I like my hard disk. I like knowing that if their servers are down in Washington, that I can still play my Xbox games. No big deal. And I think they realize that too, that it really, the infrastructure is not right for the system yet. It's getting there. Slowly it's getting there. But now they have truly made this a race to see who's going to be the better system. Now it's going to come down to the software and not necessarily the hardware aspects. I know a lot of people are bitching and complaining about the $499 price point. You got to think, they're including the Kinect in that price point. That Kinect is $100 extra. If you stripped away the Kinect, it would be the exact same price as the PS4. The PS4, you don't have to have the Kinect in order for it to operate, etc. Microsoft's going in some interesting directions, and I know that they're trying to capture the entire market of all-in-one desktop box. But I don't think this new Xbox is as powerful as it should be in order to accomplish that goal. I think it's going to be a start. It'll be a start. But a lot of people have computers that can outperform every game system that they can build. Microsoft is going to take it to the next level and give them about 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years they'll bring out the Xbox system that they really want to bring out. And it's going to do direct downloads, blah blah blah. And I think a lot more people will be more accepting of that because there's a lot of other systems coming out right now, like the Ouya, the Steam boxes. If the Steam boxes ever get off the off out there in the public, was it the Piston was one of them? But I think Microsoft coming out doing today was very intelligent. They honestly should hold another big press conference and just go ahead and lay everybody's worries at ease. Saying, hey, we're gonna have physical discs. Don't worry about the DRM thing. That was just we was gonna go with that, but we realized after the feedback from everybody bitching and complaining and blowing up that we are gonna do that the way it always has been done. DRMs are coming. Everybody needs to realize that eventually that is going to be the system. It's eventually going to be that game is tied to your system. But I agree with Reggie from Nintendo. If they truly want to make a big fortune and not screw themselves over, make better games. Nintendo makes games that you want to play all the time and over again, not just once. Mario, Zelda, all their first party titles are titles that you do not want to get rid of. I looked at the comparison sheet the other day of exactly how much money each company makes. Nintendo doesn't have to worry about nobody. They're not competing with either one of the other two systems. And anybody out there that says that they are, they're out of their minds. Because here's the thing. While everybody else gets Call of Duties, while everybody else gets all these other games, Nintendo has Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Smash Brothers, gobs and gobs of first-party titles that when they come out, everybody buys them. Everybody buys them, and they keep them forever. Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, Mario World, Mario Galaxy. People do not trade in their Nintendo games because there's replay value there, and they're so well made. I love I'm just happy today that Microsoft finally come out and just took a step back from what they were trying to do. And I know what they were doing. They were looking ahead. They were looking ahead in the future, but they were building the system, the specs on the system, or the idea of the system was ahead. And I'm fine with that. However, it wasn't geared towards today's market. That was their problem. Now they've oriented towards today's market. They're going to get a big chunk of the pie. Now Sony and Microsoft really are going to have to sell you on the software that's coming out for the systems. Obviously they're going to have their own exclusive titles. Halo will be Xbox. Sony will have God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and all those. Now we really have a better fight coming and a better selection of systems coming. Now Microsoft Xbox One is part of that. I know I bitched about that. I wasn't the only one. But I am glad Microsoft finally saw the light, listened to the people, and realized, it wasn't just one person complaining about the system. It was the masses complaining about the system. So good job, Microsoft. And if anybody won E3, it wasn't any of the big players. It wasn't the developers. It wasn't that. It was us. We, the gamers, won E3. We finally get systems that are worthy of fighting for, worthy of going and saying, I like the Xbox, I like the PlayStation. Why not have both? If you could only afford one, either one is going to be a good choice now. Before, it was clearly Sony. Sony mopped the floor with Microsoft, but now Microsoft's come back out, taking their gloves off, and are ready to fight. That's good for us. Competition breeds good gaming. And until next time, if you want to, leave comments below. I'll comment back like I always do. Good gaming to everybody out there.